ugly cry, snot going down my nose, eye boogers everywhere. I'm ready to go play in traffic. I could just tell by his hate he wanted me. Like, you've seen the type of video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't have to say anything because you know what's up. I know what's up. We know what's up. And that's on way. And that's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. Y'all, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I feel so silly right now recording this video in the kitchen and it's an echo in here. If y'all are new to my channel, or if you did not know, your girl did move and I currently don't have my media room, or I don't have a lot of furniture set up in my apartment right now, y'all. So that's why we doing the video in the kitchen today. Hopefully by the next story time, I'll have some of my stuff together so I can sit down and give y'all this story time. But let's go ahead and get into it. You already know, in order for any of my story times to make sense, I have to go ahead and give y'all a little backstory. So y'all, this took place back in college. I think it was my junior year. And I had a Chrysler coupe, y'all. And if you had a Sebring, if you had a Chrysler coupe, you know them are literally the worst cars. Like them car, when I say that car put me through the mud, y'all, that car put me through the mud. Was that my first car? I want to say that was, I think that was my second car. Wait, was that? No, y'all, that was my... that was my very first car, and that car just put me through it. And it's crazy because after the car finally just went out on me completely, I did some research, and y'all, everybody and their mama, we would all have the same problems. It's like it was a dog or a child, and it came with this car. Like, I knew it wasn't me, because my mama was like, oh, you having problems with the car because you can't drive? No, I'm having problems with the car because the car cannot drive. Like, it's issues with the car, y'all. Like, literally, the back window would never go up. Like, the back window would never go up. Everybody and their mama on Reddit said they had that same problem with the car. There was just all type of issues with this car, and I wasn't the only one that was going through it. But anyway, y'all, this happened back in, what year was this? Was this 20? I feel like this was either 2017 or 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. And I had my coupe, y'all. And me and this car would have problems. It was so unreliable. It was unreliable to the point that before I would go anywhere, y'all, I had to make sure my car was gonna be a car that day. Like, I would go downstairs and be like, are you gonna drive today? Like, do you want to work today, y'all? And literally, it was a Monday and I had a 8 a.m. bio class. My biology class was that Monday. No, was it biochem? I think it was my biochem class. And I went downstairs and I was just like, let me go ahead before I get ready, do my hair, my makeup, and get all dressed and stuff. Let me go ahead and see if I'm gonna have a way to class this day. Went downstairs, and y'all already know my car would not crank that morning. And if you're not new here, I did do a story time previously about a ghetto mechanic that I was dealing with at this time. He was like a street mechanic. He didn't have, well, I think he did have a shop, but it was more of like a junk shop, y'all. It wasn't like a professional shop. When you went to him, you didn't sign contracts. Your car may or may not be fixed when you was done paying him. Like, he was just a ghetto mechanic, y'all. So that's what I was dealing with at that time. So my car went and cranked, but I had my 8 a.m. class. And like I said, I already knew my car was not reliable. So I would wake up like an hour before class, because I lived like 10 minutes from campus at that time. It's like 7 a.m. and I'm aggravated, y'all. My class is at 8. I live like 10 minutes from the campus. And I don't know how long the mechanic is going to take. I don't recall what I named him in that story time, but we're going to go ahead and call my ghetto mechanic. Let's call him Nick. So I call Nick, and it's like maybe 7-ish, like 7:10, like 10 minutes after 7, y'all. And I'm like, hey, Nick, my car will not crank. He's like, what's wrong with it? Is it the battery again? What's wrong with it? I'm like, I don't know. It's not cranking. It's making a but I don't know. It just won't crank. Okay, it could be the starter. It could. Y'all, at this time, I didn't know anything about cars. This man could have told me that the starter was in the trunk and I wouldn't even know it. Like, the battery was in the trunk, y'all. I didn't know nothing about cars at this time. So he was just like, all right, where you at? And I tell him I'm at my apartment. He's like, all right, I can be over there in like 20 minutes. He comes in 20 minutes, y'all. And when he comes, he's like, yep, it's the battery again. He tests my battery or whatever. And then he charges my battery or whatever. At the time, I was giving him attitude because I was telling him, like, I don't really have time. Like, class started at 8. By the time he came, y'all, it was like 7:30ish. So I was just like, can you just give me a jump? He was like, if I give you a jump, you're not gonna be able to get back home. If I give you a jump, your car not gonna crank back up when you ready to go back. I'm like, all right, fine. We'll go ahead and charge my battery really quick. And he charged my battery for like, I was still late to class this day, y'all. But he charged my battery from maybe like 20-30 minutes. Nonetheless, I ended up making the class. I was late, but y'all, I was also mad because at this time I did not leave the house. Like freshman year through junior year, if you knew me at the time, your girl did not leave the house without her eyebrows on. I don't know why, y'all, but I did not have any eyebrows. I don't know if God was punishing me for getting my eyebrows arched starting, and like I think my mama started arching my eyebrows at like, I don't know, y'all. I used to ask in middle school, can I get my eyebrows arched? So my eyebrows would not grow for the longest. So your girl would not leave the house without her makeup done. I had to have my makeup done. But like I said, I was already late for class this day. So literally I ran upstairs. I put on some sweats, a hoodie, and I put on a cap, y'all. And the cap was like literally at my eyebrows. Like I did not care to be seen without my eyebrows done, y'all. Like my eyebrows would leave the house before I did because I just didn't play with it. Anyway, I go to class, y'all. I'm mad, annoyed, or whatever. I'm looking like I'm about to rob somebody. I'm looking just crazy or whatever. Get to class. We had a pop quiz that day, so thank God I did go to class that day. Take my little test or whatever. After class, I think they had a study section or whatever. Did that for a little bit, and then I went back home to eat because this is my 8 a.m., y'all. I will always go to class and then I would come back home to eat. On Mondays, I had my 8 a.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, I had my 8 a.m. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would literally go to class and then I would come back home and I would eat breakfast and, you know, just do whatever I needed to do. And then I had another class like 3 hours later. I think my next class started at like 11 a.m. So I was doing my regular, y'all. When I left class, my car was working just fine. I got back to my apartment, went upstairs, started cooking breakfast, and then I realized that I left my charger in my bag, which was in my car. So I go downstairs and y'all already knew it was coming because I had the little the clicker thing to unlock my car door and it wasn't working. Like I was clicking it and it was not unlocking my car door. So I'm like, damn, it's my battery again. Like my battery is doing what it wants to do or whatever. So I keep clicking it, I keep clicking it, y'all. I probably took me like maybe like 10 to 15 minutes and then it finally opened my car door. When I got in the car, the first thing I do is try to crank my car up because I'm like, at this point it's going on like maybe like 9:30ish. So I'm thinking like, am I gonna have to call him back to get my car get my battery charged more before my next class or whatever? And y'all, the crazy thing was, I forgot to mention, but if you watched that previous story time that I did about the ghetto mechanic, y'all know every time he charged my battery, this man would charge me $60. He would charge me every single time. So although he was a ghetto mechanic, he was very much about his coin. It was $60 to $80. Keep that in mind. And if you've seen that last story time, you probably recall me telling y'all that. So anyway, I'm in my car at this point and I'm trying to crank it, y'all, but it's making that y'all, it's doing the like, it acts like it wants to crank, and then right when I push it all the way to crank it up, it starts to and then it just dies. And then I'm like, all right, maybe if I wait for 5 minutes, it'll do it again. And I'm y'all, it couldn't cut no more. It got to the point where I would put the key in there and nothing. Like, it just wouldn't do anything. So, you know, I'm stressed out and I'm crying. Because like I told y'all, well, I didn't tell y'all, but I'm telling y'all now. That was my last $60. That $60 that I just gave that man 2 hours before, that was my last $60. And your girl did not get paid. Y'all, I didn't get paid until Friday. And I just gave this man my last $60 or whatever. And I still text him because I already knew like he was gonna have to charge me $60 again. But I still text him and I tried to put the blame on him. So I'm just like, hey, you just charged my battery and my car is not cranking up again. And me and him are going back and forth through text, and he's basically telling me like, oh, my schedule is booked. I won't be available until Wednesday. Wednesday, I can come take a look at it. And at this point, y'all, I didn't have a right to be mad at him, but I was mad just because like, if you knew that my car was gonna have this problem because you didn't charge it long enough, why did you take my money? So I'm going off and cussing this man out through text message and it ain't even his fault. Like at this point, y'all, I'm crying hysterically. Like I am boo-boo crying, an ugly cry, snot going down my nose, eye boogers everywhere. I'm ready to go play in traffic. Y'all know how it is. Like it'd be bad enough to have car problems, but to have car problems on top of not having no money, yeah, throw me in traffic. Like, that's how I was feeling at that time. I just want to go play in traffic, y'all. So I'm in the car, I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. Mind you, ugly face, sweating, don't have my makeup or anything done. I'm just, I'm looking atrocious. I'm looking a mess. And again, I'm in the car for like 30 minutes and I do the same thing again. I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to play with the key, y'all. So I'm turning the key and I start seeing like people come downstairs because I lived in a student housing apartment complex. Is that what you call it? Yeah, it was like a student apartment complex and my apartment was right beside FSU, y'all. So everybody and their mom is coming downstairs now because, you know, it's time for people to go to class. So I'm doing it, but I'm starting to get embarrassed because everybody don't need to know that I'm having car problems. Like, you know how your car be making that noise, or you know how like if you need to get your brakes fixed and you try not to really press on the brakes too much because it's just like, damn, it's giving, she don't got no money. Like, that's what it was giving, y'all. So people would come downstairs and they would be looking at me like ew, like, get your life together. Like, that's how people was looking at me, y'all. So I stopped doing it and I'm still in the seat and I'm ugly crying because, like I said, at this point I didn't know how I was gonna get my car fixed, and then I'm still putting the blame on the man and we going back and forth in text message. I'm just over it, y'all. This guy comes downstairs and we gonna call him I was gonna say Day, but I'm not even gonna do that to y'all because y'all know, y'all be like, Asia, all you do is say Day. I'm not gonna do Day. Let's do Craig and Day. So we gonna do Craig. So this guy comes downstairs and we gonna call him Craig. And Craig was my neighbor, y'all. He wasn't like my neighbor, but he lived in the next building beside me and I had seen him before. And y'all, Craig was fine. Me and Craig, we would flirt, but not really. Like, we never talked to each other before other than saying like, hey, but I could just tell by his hey, he wanted me. Like, I could just tell y'all. But anyway, we never talked. Keep in mind, we never talked. And this man probably had a girlfriend at that time, y'all, because he was fine. So when I see him, I'm trying to get myself together and I throw the keys to the passenger seat because I don't want Craig to know that my car is out here embarrassing me and I'm all upset and I'm looking so ugly and I don't got my eyebrows on, like I'm a face with no brows on. Like, I didn't want him to see that, y'all. So I start like fixing my face and trying to cover my head. I don't even want him to see that is me, although I knew that Craig knew what car I drove. He didn't park beside me, but he parked the car next to me or whatever. I see him go to his car and I'm like, let me just duck down. And then when he leaves, I'm going to attempt to crank up my car again. But no, y'all, Craig comes over to me. He knocks on my window and he was just like, you good? You good? And I don't even want to let down my window, y'all. I didn't even really look up at Craig. Like, he couldn't even see that I was looking at him because I had the cap on my head and I'm just like this. He's like, you good? I'm like, he was like, what's going on with your car? So I'm just like, I don't know, my battery is dead. And he was like, I can give you a jump. And I'm just like, I don't really want to jump. I'm just going to have to wait until I get paid to get my car fixed. And he was like, really? Just for a battery? I can change the battery. I used to be a mechanic. I could do that or whatever. I don't got none of my tools on me, but I could do that later on in the day. Let me go to class and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to change the battery. I'm going to ask my homeboy for his tools and I'm going to change the battery for you. And at the time, y'all, okay, you know how like you be mad and you just be displacing your anger on other people? I wasn't giving Craig attitude, but I wasn't really trying to let Craig see how I look because like I said, y'all, at this time, I did not leave the house without having my face done just because I was mad and insecure because I did not have eyebrows. Like, I still don't have eyebrows to this day. Like, my eyebrows are very thin. I don't know why I'm getting punished from what I did when I was like 10 years old. Not even 10. Let me not lie my mama like that. Let me say 13. I don't know why I'm getting punished and my eyebrows won't grow back. But they just wouldn't grow, y'all. So I don't really want him to see my face and I'm not really trying to talk to him and I have an attitude or whatever, but it's not really on him and I can tell that he knew that or whatever. He was just like, no, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna change your battery for you. I can take you to go get a used battery. So I'm like, okay. Okay, like that's what I'm telling him, y'all. So he leaves or whatever, and as soon as he leaves, y'all, I skedaddle. I run to the car and I just go get in bed because I'm just aggravated or whatever. Of course, I tell my mom and my dad about it, and they was just like, all right, when we get paid, we gonna send you the money to help you get your car fixed. So I'm like, all right, but how am I gonna get to class, y'all? Like, how am I going to get to class for the rest of this week? And this was during midterms, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I went to a HBCU, and at FAMU, they did not play about missing big exams. Like, they didn't play about stuff like that. So I was already stressed on top of that. And then I'm thinking like, damn, now I'm gonna have to kiss my roommate ass just to get a ride to class. Cause I had that type of roommate where you literally had to kiss her behind to get anything out of her. Like, she was just that type of person. So I'm thinking like, damn, now I'm gonna have to tell this girl her hair cute, even though it's ugly. I'm gonna have to tell her she look like she lost weight, even though she got bigger. Like, I'm just gonna have to keep kissing her butt, because that's the type of person she was. I don't know if y'all ever met a person like that, where it's like, if you do something for them, they keep bringing it up, or they think like, oh, just because you did something for them, now you gotta do something for it. Like, she was a very transactional person. I believe, I don't know what name I gave her in any previous story times, but I know I've mentioned her before, because I told y'all when I worked at Chick-fil-A, she would literally come to Chick-fil-A and be asking for me so she can get free food. She would literally eat my food and drink my stuff and then send me money for it. Y'all know what roommate I'm talking about. That's the roommate that I had at that time. So I'm like, I don't want to even have to deal with this girl. Like, I already don't want to live with you, but now I got to ride to school with you because I need you. So I'm crying even more in my bed, ugly crying all day, y'all. Fast forward to, I want to say probably like 2 hours later. Of course, I missed my second period class. I get a knock at the door, and it's Craig. And Craig was like, dang, I done knocked on like 3 doors. You didn't hear me? I thought you was on the second floor. And the crazy thing was, y'all, I did hear somebody, but I did not know, like, I didn't know who it was. So I get my keys, I come downstairs, and he's telling me that it's gonna be kind of hard where I'm parked at, just simply because it was one person that was parked to the right of me, and then it was an empty parking spot like in front of me, but it was another person parked to like both sides of me. So he said it might be kind of difficult to kind of like get my car up off the ground and look at everything and see what's going on. So I'm like, all right. At this time, y'all, I lived on the 3rd floor. He's telling me this as we're going down the stairs. When I get downstairs, there's this other guy in front of my car. And we're going to go ahead and call him Tom. So Tom is there, and Craig is just like, hey, this is my neighbor. This is her car. And I'm like, hey, Tom. And he was just like, so what's going on with your car? I'm like, it just won't crank. Like, it won't crank. So he's like, try to crank it up. So I try to crank it up in front of him, y'all, and it's doing the same thing or whatever. So he was like, oh, okay, all right, it's probably just your battery. We gonna take a look at it or whatever. So they are taking a look at it. While they taking a look at it, y'all, I'm on my phone and I'm sitting in the car. And maybe like 5 minutes into them taking a look at it, I hear Craig saying, thank you, bro. I'm gonna bring you back your tools. He had borrowed his friend tools. I don't know if his friend was a mechanic or if guys just be having tools on deck. I don't know. So I'm in the passenger seat of my car because he's like working on that side of the car. That's where like my battery was at in the car, y'all. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and he's also going back and forth from the driver's seat to the what is that? The hood of my car, y'all. He keeps going back and forth. And after like, I want to say maybe like 30 minutes of him being there, he was just like, it's your transmission. So like, y'all, he could have told me that it was the trunk. Something was wrong with the trunk. He could have told me it was my brakes. I don't know nothing about cars. So immediately I hop on Google and I'm like, transmission estimated costs. And y'all, the price that came up was crazy. It was like 2,000. The range was like 2,000 to like $8,000. And the first thing I do is I bust out ugly crying. Cause who has that? I got paid on Friday, but my paycheck, like, I don't even make that much in a month. Like, so I started ugly crying. I'm just like, and Craig is looking at me. He was just like, yeah, it's your transmission. And y'all, it's thinking back, it's crazy because the fact that my car wouldn't crank up, it should have been like a starter or like a battery. Like, transmission, that don't even go together. But I didn't know anything. To this day, I still don't know a lot about cars. I'm ignorant when it comes to cars, y'all. So I'm just like, y'all, it got so bad that I was crying and nothing was coming out. You know that cry. Like, when you don't cry so much that nothing can't come out no more. I'm like, y'all, I'm crying, but nothing is coming out. And Craig, he's looking at me. He was just like, you know what? I'm going to see what I can do for you. I'm going to see what I can do for you. You pay for the pieces and I'll do the labor. Pay for the pieces and I'm gonna do the labor. And I'll front you the pieces because I heard you say you don't get paid until Friday. So I'm like, really? Like, yo, I start crying again because what? What? You fine and you nice? God bless your mother. Like, what, y'all? I start crying even more because I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I'm just emotional. When somebody do something for me and you don't have to do it for me, I just started crying even more. So I'm like, ah! I'm just crying and I'm crying and I'm crying. And he was just like, yeah, but you're going to have to do me a favor. You're going to have to do me a favor. And I'm like, what? He was like, you're going to have to let me take you out. I'm going to do the labor in exchange for you to let me take you out. And y'all, it wasn't that I wasn't attracted to Craig, because I definitely was, but I feel like you don't already seen me ugly cry. You don't already see me ugly. You don't see me with no eyebrows. Like, I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know. I was embarrassed. Let's just say we're going to use embarrassed for the lack of better words. That's just what it was, y'all. So he says that, and I don't really answer him, y'all. I just do that little smirk like, okay. Like, I don't really say nothing, y'all. Like, I don't really recall what I said, but I know I didn't say much because I don't remember it. So I'm just like, you know, cleaning my face up or whatever. And he was just like, I'm gonna start working on it later today. What, you go to FSU? Do not embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. You know I'm recording. God bless him. I hope they good. But anyway, y'all, he was just like, you go to FSU, because at the time, my apartment complex, majority of the people that lived in this apartment complex did go to FSU, but I went to FAMU. And I'm just like, no, I'm going to FAM. He's like, oh, that's just a skip away. I can take you to class. Do you have any more classes today? I'm like, I already done missed all my classes. Like, and if I didn't have any, if I did have another class, y'all, I wasn't going to no class. I wasn't thinking about no class. So fast forward, I end up giving Craig, I gave him my phone number, y'all. And I think, did I tell my father about this yet? Excuse me. I don't even think I did, because anytime I had any car problems, I would always call my father. But y'all, I did not live anywhere near my hometown. I lived like 4 hours away, and my parents were not in a position just to come up to Tallahassee to help me with all my car problems. Fast forward, y'all, to the next day. Craig, he texts me, and he was just like, hey, I want to work on your car. Is there any way you can bring me the keys? I don't know exactly where he lived, y'all. I just knew he lived in the building next to me. So I go downstairs, I give him the keys, and like I told y'all, I had to kiss my roommate's anus, her booty hole, and she was taking me to class, you know, all that week or whatever. I think maybe 1 or 2 classes she wasn't able to take me to just because my schedule didn't align with her schedule. But in the morning, she would take me to class, and I would literally, I would stay on campus until, I think her last class was like at 9 o'clock. And then she was also, I don't want to give y'all too much details because some of y'all be knowing the people I'm talking about. So I'm just going to say that once she left practice, y'all, she would take me home at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I would just be chilling on campus all that week. But this is the following day, y'all. Now this is Tuesday. This is the day where Craig is working on my car. So he's working on my car. Like I said, this whole day I'm on campus this entire day. But while he's working on my car, he's sending me pictures of different stuff. He's taking parts off my car, just doing all types of stuff with my car. Y'all, it looks foreign to me. I don't know about cars. I don't know about any of this. So I'm just like, okay, like, thank you. Like, I'm so grateful. Thank you or whatever. Fast forward, I get home that night. It's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And he knocks on my door, and he told me that he was gonna bring me my keys with like way earlier in the day, y'all, but he never told me when he was gonna bring me my keys. So he knocks on my door, and he's like all dressed up or whatever, and he was just like, let's go out, let's go see a movie. And I'm just like, a movie? I'm tired. Like, what? He was like, yeah, let's go see a movie. The new Spider-Man came out. Let's go see a movie. And I'm like, okay, I did hear that it was straight. Like, okay, I'm gonna get ready. And at this point, y'all, the relationship, it was kind of tarnished because he had already seen me at my lowest. So I didn't even really care to just get dressed up or anything. And then he didn't even give me a heads up about the movie. So I go get dressed, put on a real cute, let me not lie, it wasn't cute. It was a freaking sundress, y'all. I put on a sundress, and we went to Regal, and we watched the movie. And while we're watching the movie, y'all, why is Craig trying to touch my thigh? Like, when he first put his hand, he had, okay, I can't really show y'all, but let me just say, this is my kneecap, this the kneecap, this my thigh, this my box, okay? Craig Hand is right here at first on my kneecap, doing a little rubbing. It's okay for you to rub my kneecap. You can lay your hand here. You can do all of that, but don't do too much. So he notices that I allow him to have his hand right here. Then Craig started putting his hand upper on my thigh. When he does that, I would nicely, not rudely, take it, put it back down to the kneecap. Like, you can place your hand on the kneecap, but baby, don't do too much or whatever. So I keep doing that or whatever. That happens like 3 times during the movie. He wasn't mad aggressive with it, but I did note like, all right, you're bugging. That's a little odd or whatever. Like, you cute, but you're not that cute. Don't do too much. Fast forward, after the movie, y'all, we're literally just in his car talking, and mid-sentence, Craig, he kisses me. He kisses me, and I'm just like, okay, what was that about? He was just like, your lips look so good. Like, you look so good. Like, you look mad good or whatever. So, you know, he just filling my head up or whatever. I'm just like, okay, thank you, but you ain't asked like you should have asked. He's like, okay, my bad. I definitely would ask the next time. Next time, there ain't gonna be no next time, but whatever. I'll let it slide or whatever. You fixing my car. Let me let it slide. Let it slide or whatever. And when I got back in the house, y'all, it was mad late. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning. Went to sleep. Mind you, at this point, I had took my house key and all my important keys off of my keychain, and Craig had my car, y'all. He literally had my car keys or whatever. Like I said, he was fixing my car, and I didn't need him to ask me to come down every single day while he's fixing my car. So fast forward to that following day, y'all. I think it's either Wednesday. I don't know if it's Wednesday or Thursday. I just know he was every day up until the point where what happened, he was fixing my car, y'all. That following day, y'all, Craig, he texted me first thing that morning. He was like, do you got class today? I'm like, yeah, I do got class today, but my second period and my third period, well, my second period had got canceled, and my third period, it was one of them classes where attendance wasn't required. Like, if I wanted to show up, great. If I didn't, great. Like, I didn't have to show up or whatever. I'm like, my second period got canceled, but what's up? He was just like, oh, I'm gonna need you to come back to the apartment because I gotta show you something with your car. All right, I would meet you at the apartment, but I don't got no car. He's like, all right, that's cool. I can come get you. So he comes to FAMU after my first period, y'all. He comes to get me. Mind you, at this time, I want to say it was like 9:30ish because it was after my bio class. He comes, he gets me. And y'all, he was telling me that we were going back to my apartment, but he parked on the opposite side. Like, I will always park on this side because it's closer to my building. He's the building right beside me, but his apartment is closer to this side. My apartment is right here, so I will park right here. So instead of him pulling where my apartment is, my staircase is by my car, he pulls up on his side, y'all. But y'all know I just be talking. So the whole time he coming to get me from the school, from FAMU, y'all, we in the car talking, good vibes, no weird vibes. But when we get to the house, I'm like, why you park right here? Like, that's weird. Why you park over here? Like, why you want to see me walk so much? Like, why you? Okay, my bad, y'all. My camera had died, but your girl is back, so we getting back into it. So like I said, I noticed that he parked on the opposite side of where my apartment was at. Thought that was weird. So as we're going up the stairs, because he was on the second floor and I stayed on the third floor, but the building over, y'all. As we going up the stairs, he pulls my hand or whatever. I'm trying to go to the next floor, but the buildings connect. I can like walk over from his building. I can get to my building from his building, y'all. So I'm trying to walk up to the next floor, and he locks my hand. So my hand, ooh, my pants need to be shaved. So if you seen that, don't see that. So I'm walking, my hand dangling. He goes like this. I go like this because I'm a fool. And he kind of cute. So we lock hands or whatever, and we're walking, and he's locking my hand. I'm thinking, oh, it's cute or whatever, y'all. But he really locking my hand so he can guide me to where he want me to go. So we go to his apartment, and I'm just like, I thought you said you wanted to show me something on my car. Why you want me? Like, where we going? So he just like, man, stop playing. You tired. I'm tired. I'm about to get ready and take a nap. I'm like, well, why we need to take a nap here? He was like, we don't need to take a nap here, but I want you to take a nap here. And I'm like, all right, I'll take a nap with you. Y'all know we wasn't about to take no damn nap. But anyway, I go in the house with the man, and while he's trying to take his fake nap, y'all, this man was hilarious. Literally, he's laying there like he takes off his shirt, He had like sweats underneath his pants or whatever. Takes down his pants, but he had like, well, it wasn't sweats. It was like, what you call them shorts? I guess like the basketball shorts. He would always wear basketball shorts underneath his actual pants. So he took them off. He lays in the bed, and he has like a little desk in his room. These were furnished apartments, y'all. They came with furniture, so we all had the same little desk, the same bed, and I think they provided us with a dresser. So I'm sitting in his little desk area or whatever, and I'm just plundering through. So I'm like, oh, this is cute. Like, this is, this is real cute or whatever. You're just going through stuff or whatever, and y'all, he just like, I'm so tired. You're not tired? Like, come to bed or whatever. I'm like, Ninja, it's 11 a.m. Like, the day hasn't even started. I'm not tired, but I'll be fake tired with you. Like, I'll be fake tired with you, y'all. So I get into bed with him, and I'm not under the sheets or anything, because like I said, I'm not tired. I was just gonna let him take a nap, and I was gonna scroll on my phone, which is what I did. And while he's laying down, y'all, he like this. Every 2-3 minutes, he can't even get through a whole 5 minutes. He's like, fake yawning, like I'm so tired or whatever. He does this fake thing or whatever. And as I'm sitting there, again, y'all, he starts to head towards that diamond. He's trying to touch that diamond. He going like this on my leg, trying to touch the diamond. I'm just like, nah, are you doing too much? Kiki. I'm not saying it like a rude way or anything, y'all, but I get it. Like, I get what he's trying to do or whatever. So I don't say anything. I just moved to the little desk or whatever, and I'm in his apartment for like 20 minutes. And then I'm like, when you gonna start working on my car? He was like, what you mean? I've been working on your car. I'm waiting for the piece to come in. I'm like, when is the piece gonna come in? He said the piece was gonna come in on like Saturday. And like I said, I was already planning to be without a car that whole week. My roommate had already agreed to, commute me back to class and stuff. So I'm like, all right, not a big deal. And I told him, all right, how much is the piece? I'm gonna pay you on Friday. This is where the lies started to come very clear, y'all. He was just like, I'm gonna let you know, I don't know. Who don't know how much a piece that they just bought apparently 3 days ago, well, not apparently, approximately 3 days ago cost? Who don't know how much the piece cost? But he was like, he didn't know how much the piece cost. He'll let me know. So I'm like, all right, that's cool or whatever. Fast forward to that following day, y'all. I go outside, and I'm literally going outside with my roommate because I'm on my way to class. And we had like a later class that day. And by this time, it's either Thursday or Friday. I don't think it was my payday, so I'm gonna say it was Thursday, y'all. I'm leaving, and I'm getting ready to go into the car with my roommate. But I tell my roommate, hold on really quick, because I seen that Craig was over at my car working on my car or whatever. And he also had moved my car. So I'm like, oh, is my car fixed now? Because it's like, it was, 3 spots down. Now it's 8 spots down. Like, you moved it a little bit. Like, what's going on? So he was just like, oh yeah, it's drivable. But we still gotta wait for the piece or whatever. I told you it wasn't the battery. Like, I can drive it. I had gave you a jump. So I'm like, oh, okay. So you moved my car to be by your car. He was just like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll catch you later. And I get in the car with my roommate. And he's texting my phone, asking me, like, again, he's asking me, like, what time your class over, trying to know my schedule or whatever, because he said he wanted to take me out. He wanted, he want to wine and dine your girl. So I'm like, I'm going to be home late. Like, I'm going to be home mad late. He was like, all right, that's cool. Let me know when you get home, because I want to come over. And I'm like, I might be tired. It's going to be like mad late. Like, it was going to be the same time that I was getting home on Monday. My roommate had practice, and she didn't get off practice to sometimes to like 9 and 10, y'all. So I told him it was going to be like mad late. Like, I'm going to bed. Like, I don't want no company. I didn't tell him I didn't want no company, but basically I was hitting at, I don't want no company. Like, he just couldn't take the hint. Fast forward to that night, me and my roommate got home. I think it was like 8 or 9 o'clock. And y'all, I seen his text messages. He was calling me, blowing my phone up. And then morning, I fake text him like, oh, I was tired. Like, I ain't even make it to the bed. Like, soon as the door open, I hit the door. Like, I slept on a rug in the living room. Like, I couldn't even make it to the bed. You know what I mean, y'all? I'm bugging. Like, I'm fake acting tired or whatever. So I'm just like, I couldn't make it to the room or whatever. So he was just like, oh man, I wanted you to come over. Last night my bed was cold without you. Turn on the heat, because I ain't never been in your bed before. Like, you lay in a man's bed one time, and they all of a sudden talking about the bed don't feel the same without you. The bed is cold without you. So he fake trying to convince me in messages saying his room don't feel the same without my presence. He was saying a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. I don't remember everything, but I just remember him saying like, oh, my bed don't feel the same without you. And I'm like, all right, you hyping my head up again. But like, what's going on with my car? Like, every time I would talk to this man, I would go back to the subject, y'all. What's going on with my car? It would be the same thing. Oh yeah, the piece gonna be here this day. Did you want a tracking number? I'm like, nah, I don't want a tracking number. But when they get there, how long it's gonna take you to do the work? He was like, my homeboy said he was gonna help me out, so it shouldn't take me like no more than like a day or two to get the work done. So I'm like, all right, cool, all right, great. And y'all, at this point, I was not bugging because I ain't had to put gas in my car a whole week because I'm riding with my roommate, and he's paying for the labor, and all I had to do is pay him for the actual pieces, y'all. And I had looked up online how much the pieces cost for my car, and the pieces was like, it was like a couple $100s. It was nothing crazy. It wasn't over like $500. But don't quote me because I don't recall the exact number, but I know it was nothing crazy. Like my paycheck, it could do that. It couldn't do 3K, but my paycheck could definitely do the pieces for the part. Fast forward to that next day, y'all. I text him and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see if I can drive my car to the store. The store was literally right beside my apartment complex, y'all. I just didn't want to walk. I just texted him like, hey, I'm coming over to get my keys. I just want to go to the store. He offered to take me to the store, but I told him like, you know, like I just want to go to the store to get something that's like a snack, y'all. I didn't want to make this a big thing. I didn't want to make this a hangout. I had to study that day. So I went to his house. I grabbed my keys, and I knew I wasn't supposed to be driving my car because he said the transmission problem, y'all. Like I wasn't supposed to be driving my car. But anyway, I drive my car to the store, and this is the day that I had got paid. Today is Friday, y'all. And somebody just told me, just go ahead and see if you can make it to AutoZone. I don't know what told me that, y'all. I want to say it was my intuition, but I ain't have no car intuition at that time. Like nothing, I don't know what was telling me that, but something was just like, girl, if you can make it to the store, you can make it 2-3 miles down the road. Like the AutoZone was literally down the road from my apartment complex. So y'all, I went to AutoZone and I'm snacking on at that time I was obsessed with the hot Cheeto Puffs. So I'm smacking on my hot Cheeto Puffs. I go inside and I'm just like, hey, could you do that little test thing on my car? Because they would have this small little handheld machine where they would attach it to the door of your car and it will pop up with the code, basically letting you know like what's wrong with your car. And it wouldn't always be accurate, y'all, but this particular day, it was accurate because everything he was saying that came back, the code said that it was my battery. It said I needed some type of valve I needed. And then it said that I had something wrong with like the starter of my car. It was like 3 major things that was wrong with my car. And the guy, he wasn't a mechanic, but he worked at AutoZone, y'all. I started telling this man about all the issues that I was having with my car. I was telling him about the noise. I was telling him about anytime I would get a jump or somebody would charge my car, for me, it would die in like a few days, or sometimes it would die like the same day or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you just need a new battery. You need a new battery. And he was like, we sell batteries here for like $100. I can go ahead and put it in your car. I said, what? You can put it in my car? He's like, yeah, you buy the battery, I'll install it in your car for free. It's just, it's really simple. It's really simple. So I'm like, it's simple. It's the battery. So, y'all, I popped the hood of my car. The man switches out the battery in my car, and I crank my car up, and it sounded like somebody just put a new engine in my car. It was like, it was like, that. I could not believe it. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, these other things you're definitely going to need to get fixed too, but it's an older car. I think it was like a 2002, y'all. No, 2003. It was a 2003, y'all. So he was like, you definitely are going to need to get other things fixed on your car, but for you to make your car like drivable right now, all you needed was a new battery. And I'm like, are you sure it's not the transmission? He was like, no, with the issues that you were having, that didn't have anything to do with the transmission. And I'm like in the store and I'm like, oh my gosh, this man ordered me a new transmission and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, who orders you a new transmission? What shop did you go to? And I'm like, oh no, it's just this little hood mechanic named Craig. He was just like, no, did you pay him anything? And I'm like, no, but I was gonna pay him for the pieces. And he was just like, oh, you probably should actually take it to a shop to see, but I don't have any codes coming up for the transmission. But like I said, y'all, your girl was struggling and really have money like that to be paying. I think at that time people would charge like $80 for a diagnostic check at an actual repair shop. That's why I would be going to the hood mechanics to just find out that Craig did not know what he was talking about, y'all. After that, I drove my car for like a good, I want to say like a good 5 months without any problems. And yeah, like, that was crazy. And oh, let me not skip the story, because I know y'all gonna be like, well, what happened with Craig? What happened with Craig? Girl, I'm gonna tell you. So I drove my car back to the thing. Also, y'all, they gave me even a discount because I let them keep my old transmission. So it wasn't even a full $100. It was mad affordable. And when I got back to the apartment, I text Craig, and I'm like, Craig, how about I went to AutoZone? He like, oh yeah, what they said? What you went there for? They said it was my battery. They didn't say anything about a transmission. So Craig is just like, oh, they got mechanics. They got mechanics at AutoZone. I'm like, I don't know if he was a mechanic, but he's obviously has some knowledge or background about cars because he works at AutoZone. Y'all, this man tried to convince me that the man at AutoZone didn't know what he was talking about the whole time, and you didn't know what you was talking about, and you just tried to use my car struggles to talk to me. That's crazy. So I ended up telling him, the money that you spent on the transmission, can you see if you can dispute it with your card or however you pay for it, or can you see if you can get a refund or just return the part once you get it or whatever? And he didn't make a fuss or a big deal about it. Y'all, I know that man never ordered that part, because if I ordered something, and when I Googled it, I don't remember the exact price, but the part was really expensive, y'all. The part was mad expensive. It was like almost $700 something, and it had like multiple components and parts to it. So the fact that you was able just to be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and, like, you know, cancel the order that easy. Like, he didn't give me attitude or anything. That means that you were really BSing. Like, you never really ordered the part the whole time. You probably effed my car up worse the whole time while I was giving you my keys, letting you play with my car. But yeah, that's pretty much the story time on how, I don't even know what the title of this story time. I guess how he tried to play me just to talk to me. Like, this man really thought, because I couldn't afford to pay for my car, that he was finna get some cookie. Some cookie. Crazy. But yeah, y'all, that's the end of the story time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And for those of y'all that made it to the end, I know somebody's gonna want to know or see my nails, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. This video is not sponsored by them, but let me put y'all on really quick, because if you still paying a light bill, insurance bill, a car note to get your nails done, what are you doing, y'all? Like, the evolution of the nails are crazy. Look at this. Do y'all see how pretty these are? These feel like real acrylics, y'all. This is literally a press-on that I got from a company called TTDI. They are sponsoring one of my videos, but they not sponsoring this. It's the contact company, y'all. And they sent me some nails right along with it. So let me just show y'all them, because I'm just appalled. Like, I didn't even know press-ons was getting this good. I've been wearing press-ons for the last, I want to say, year now. But I didn't know they was making them like this. Like, this is crazy, y'all. Hold on. Let me just show y'all the two that had me in the chokehold. I am going to link their website down below if y'all want to get them. I haven't even been on their website myself, so I don't even know how much these cost. But y'all, they starting to do the deep smiley like the nail techs. That is crazy. So that one had me in the chokehold. And then look at this. Girl, stop playing with them. Go get y'all some. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you made it to the end of this story time, put a little nail emoji so I know you watched the whole video. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. And hopefully we won't be in my kitchen next time, because I don't like this.